Hello and welcome to this quick video going over how to create a book review based on the stuff that I talked about in the most recent Reading Rampage. And it's very useful to create a QR coded video that allows students to review books, talk about it, and then share these videos, their reviews, with other students. These are great little QR codes, and if you don't know what a QR code, I'll go over that later on. These QR codes can be slipped into the front, into the dust jacket of any book within a library, and allows students to interact with those reviews that have been created by their peers, and allows them to hear what other students think about those key titles. What I have here, though, is Audacity, which is a bit of a software, because all the stuff that I'm using in this review, in this video, sorry, is free software. So that's one of the great things about this. All the stuff you can get hold of completely free. And this helps you to record. It's an audio recorder. If I go up here to the help, you'll see what I mean. It's Audacity. This is Audacity 2.0.5. And it can be obtained, it can be downloaded. You can just search for it on Google. Or you can go to this one, which is audacity.sourceforge.net, and you can download the most updated version there. And it's a great little free bit of software. It's fantastic. I mean, I use it constantly for doing verbal feedback to my kids. But it allows you to simply record, cut and paste, pause, and then output stereo, mono, whatever format you like. I've recorded this particular one here, which is from a student of mine called Sophie, who's done a book review. So if you can see here, I can play it.
The Fault in Our Stars, a review by Sophie Branston. The Fault in Our Stars is about a wonderful protagonist called Hazel Grace Lancaster.
And it goes on like that, and you can see it comes here. When we were recording it, we did it in 4 different sections to allow her to read out basically the paragraphs of her review, and pause it in between, and then continue recording. And what then I do is I just go down here to export, and I can save it as an MP3 file. And you can see just in here, I've done that already. So that's created very quickly as an audio file that can be then used. I mean, that could actually be uploaded straight as it is, or, as I'm going to show in this video, you can convert it into a video. Now, the other bit of software that I'm going to be using is quite a simple free bit of software that is available from Microsoft, and it is Microsoft Movie Maker. Now, it's quite an old bit of software as far as creating movies is concerned, but it is really simple to do. You can use any video software you want. You may have something that you prefer, but this is one that I know you can download. It's usually free. In fact, I'm pretty sure it's free for every single person that downloads it, and it's very simple. Now, the first thing we want to have a look at is to get the audio into our actual video, and that's going to be the first part, but we can't do that. If you look just here, we can't add music until we actually add some sort of video or images. Now, what I've done is I've actually created a folder which has got in on my drive, just in here, some images that I've downloaded with actually the student involved, with Sophie, which is just of the different bits about her book. And you can see here that we've got, and the book that she's actually going to be, if I show you the picture on here, she's going to be reviewing, is The Fault in Our Stars by John Green. So we've got that as the first image, and she's got various other ones that she has picked out that she likes. Now, I'm going to be inserting these within there to create the video element. The reason I haven't recorded her or videoed the actual student, Sophie herself, is because that does bring up loads of issues about child protection. So just having her voice and maybe just putting it down as Sophie rather than her full name means you can get round that completely, and in some ways it helps with the students, because I think Sophie wouldn't have liked to have been videoed reviewing the book, but was quite happy to put a voice to it, and it means that you can also bring imagery into it, which helps bring the book to life. So we've got all of those ones. We've got the actual review here, and if I right click and go properties, you can see that this particular file, if we have a look at it on here, the size of it, and if we click on details, it tells me the length, which is 1 minute and 14 seconds. Now, this is quite important, as I will show you later, because what we need to do is we need to match these images into that length. So going back to Movie Maker, I can add videos and photographs. Click on the actual box where I've saved them all in the folder I've done, and we've got these images here, 5 images, and I'm going to select all of them. And you'll notice that, bang, it sticks it straight in straight away. And at the moment, our video is going to be 35 seconds long. Now, what you can do is manipulate these a little bit further so that they can be different lengths in order to make this up to the 1 minute and 14. So at the moment, we're going to look at really making these anywhere, well, all of them about twice the length. So if I click on this particular one, and then if I have a look at double clicking on it, you'll see that at the moment its duration is 7 seconds. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to double that up to 14 seconds. And put that in. Now you can tailor these individually so that each one is a different length. And you can see that our maximum time is going up. And some of them, I mean, one of the ones which I did with Tilak, I managed to get it so that the images fitted exactly to what she was talking about. Now, that can be great, and that takes a little bit longer to do. So you can see at the moment it's 1 minute and 3 seconds, so a couple of these might be a little bit longer. We've also got to think about, well, whereabouts do we want these? Because we really could do with the book title at the beginning, and at the moment it's at the end. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to move that up. You can see that if I move it just there and move it again, I can change the position that this one comes in. So we'll jump it up the order, like so. Now what I can do is I can also insert at the end, because at the moment we're at 1 minute and 3 seconds, so we could do with another image at the end. So we'll come down to the end here, and what I will do, if I go back to home, I'll add in the same image for the title one at the end, and that brings up us to 1 minute and 10, but if you remember it was 1 minute and 14, so we need to increase that by 4 seconds. You may even increase it slightly more, so instead of it being 11, I'm going to put it in 12.00. Reason for that is it just gives me that slight overhang. Now that means that the video itself will play, if I take it right back to the beginning, for 1 minute and 15 seconds. And that means that we can then add in the review, and we know that it will actually play nicely and we'll get the full length. Now, the other thing we could do with doing is we've got this transitions in between them. They can be a little bit jumping. If you notice that if I just go just here and then press play, you'll see that the jump is like that, is a bit harsh. One of the things you can do is select all of them, which is Control A, and then you can have a look at visual effects or animations as well, and just think about these transitions. Now I prefer myself to go this one here, which is just where it fades across. The duration of it you can change, so you can have different fades, so it can be quicker and slower. I've done it as 1 second to change over, which in effect means that once it gets to the end of those particular ones, you can see that it comes across in a nice even fashion. Now we've got that as a video, no sound to it. If we go to home again, now you can see add music, because we've got some images. I'm going to put it right back to the beginning. Add music, and now all we just need to do is go to the book review, Sophie's review, and that MP3 that we had before, and it should put it in. There we go, and as you can see, it finishes just before the end. You can check that one. You may need to tweak it a bit.
Perfect book for you. Trust me.
And as you can see, there's a slight gap. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to increase the length for this one. Let's try that at 14 seconds. And you can see it's still got a little bit of extra on the end. So what we might be looking at, you can see at the moment it's 1 minute and 12. We might need to manipulate some of these a little bit further just to make sure that it works. So I might increase that one up to 16 and tweak it until you're happy.
We recommend this book to young adults and The Fault in Our Stars.
So we've got a little bit more just on the edge. So a little bit of tweaking, and you should have a nice video. There we go. We can see now that that has got, it finishes just before the end there.
To young adults and their parents.
And finishes nicely. So that is ready to actually export as a video, which is very, very simple indeed. If you go up here and you go save project as or save movie. Now the save movie, you've got loads of different ones. We really want to go for the setting which is for YouTube. Produces a video that's nice and quick and easy. And we then go give it a name. And we can give it default in stars, book review, and oops, might be a good idea. There we go. And save it. It usually comes up with this MPEG H.264 video file, which is probably the best one to go for. So I'm going to save that one into there. As you can see, it'll start thinking about saving it. What I'll do is I will finish the video then. We'll rejoin this shortly, and I will go over how to upload it to YouTube and therefore also create a QR code, which you can then print out and insert into a book.